Okay, here I am for the final video in your lovely video series by me today. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about school vouchers. We're going to do a debate on this voucher bill, and it's an issue that, like all the issues we deal with, has two really different sides to it. And you're going to do a reading, or I don't know if you may have already done it, I'm not sure exactly, that gives you sort of the pros and the cons of the school voucher bill. And so hopefully, and then eventually we'll watch a video. You might watch it today, or we might watch it next week at some point. But that gives you kind of an overview of school vouchers and like how they might affect Wisconsin. The first thing I want to say is that school vouchers come, so I'm just going to basically give you guys like a definition, like a really generic definition, and maybe an intro to like the Wisconsin school voucher law versus the bill that you guys are going to look at. The first thing that I will just say is that the bill you guys are going to look at is modeled partly on the Wisconsin proposal, but also partly on a proposal in Indiana. So there's actually a couple of different ways to do this voucher program, and a couple different states have done it in different ways. But the thing that's interesting is Wisconsin is actually the first state to really do vouchers and school vouchers in any meaningful way. And I'll explain what vouchers are in just a second. But just to give you a little bit of history, about 20 years ago in the city of Milwaukee, parents were given an option to take their kids out of public school and to take some of the money that went to those public schools for their child and put that money into private schools. So to enroll a student, say, in a private school like Edgewood High School, or other schools like that, and use the tax money that would have gone to the public schools for that child and apply it to the private school. But in order to understand how this works, you have to understand how school funding works. First thing you need to know is that the third Friday of every school year, all schools in the state of Wisconsin count their students. You guys didn't know that, but you were counted last Friday. And it's a really important day because schools are funded based on the number of students that they have on that Friday. So that Friday, Middleton School District, Middleton Cross Plains Area School District, counted up all their students. They submit that number to the state, and the state gives them around a little bit more than $10,000 per student to educate those kids with. So the state of Wisconsin funds about $10,000 per child, and Middleton gives them their enrollment numbers, and then the state in turn turns that money over to Middleton to run their schools. What the voucher program would do is it would say, okay, if we pluck a student out of the public schools and put them into a private school, that money that would have gone to the public school in the third Friday count is now going to go instead to a private school. So look around you, any kid in this class, if any kid in this class decided to go to Edgewood High School, instead of Middleton getting that money would go to Edgewood. Okay, so that's the basic premise. It was originally created for Milwaukee Public Schools because Milwaukee Public Schools were struggling districts, and that was originally what it was really created for. It was for struggling schools, struggling districts, so that those kids that were in those districts could, have a better opportunity in these schools that were considered better schools in some circumstances than the public schools. So what has happened now is that there are organizations and groups that say, hey, let's expand this. Let's make this, why shouldn't this be accessible to any kid? So any kid who wants to go to a private school should be able to go to private school, and the money that the state would have paid the public schools for that child should go instead to the private school. Now, it's not that the public schools still get that money if kids go to private schools. It's just the money doesn't go to that individual school. Does that make sense? So if kids in the current system without vouchers, if you go to a private school, well, Middleton doesn't get your money if you're in the private school. So they're saying, let's shift those tax dollars and move them to the private schools. Okay, so that's a basic introduction to what vouchers are. It's this idea of money moving with the child. So instead of money being associated with public schools only, like tax dollars being associated with public schools only, the tax dollars would be associated with the child, not the school or the school system, like public versus private. Okay, so that's the basic intro. You're going to read the pros and cons and then watch the video on the ABCs of vouchers and then hopefully have a really vigorous debate. If you don't get to the debate today, that's fine. We'll do it next week. But hopefully you guys will have a great debate, and I will talk to you all about it on Monday. And I really look forward to hearing that you guys had a great day, that you were great to your sub, and that you really did excellent work, because I told Mrs. Johnson that I have amazing students this semester, so I hope that you guys prove me right. Okay, have a wonderful day. Bye.